I'm just on a roll today. I don't know if being in my house and ghosts screwing up my phone. But right now, I've already done 3 videos. Now I'm doing another one. Because I've been lack of time because of this damn phone. And actually, it don't seem to be doing nothing right now. But when I'm in that damn house, I tell you, this thing flicks, flutters, click, 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 the button taps. I'm like, what the I get frustrated and pissed. But my wife had an appointment today I'm sitting out here waiting for her. And being away from the house I'm in, it's about to wonder if the ghost tapping is really a ghost. Oh, man. Although I did do it in one of my videos that I did, the first one I did right now, but I don't know. It seems very, very peculiar that nothing's happening in these. I don't know. Etta Riel. Found this interesting. This is another disappearance that I found that I took interesting out of because it's more methodic than a lot of missing cases. But if I can get them out there and do them, any of them I will. But this woman went missing in Worcester, Massachusetts. What a crazy story this is. And this is another one that has bounced off from the Joan Rist case. Something just lured me into this stuff. I don't know. And something popped up. I scrolled on, and I kept going by it and looking. But I said, I better friggin' look into this. And of course, like the last one, the 1919 case. Now it is exactly the anniversary of that case. What is this going? I might have to get out to that spot, the UFO monument, because that is an anniversary. Have to check that out. Actually, I gotta get the correct date, but I think it's already passed. Whatever. Still an anniversary. Let's see what happens. So at a Riel in early 1934, we're just gonna get right into it. Living with her family in Oxford, Massachusetts. Oxford, Massachusetts is Actually, I got an email from someone. I forgot to do this. Where I went to do the Johnson massacre of Oxford, Mass, because of an incident I had of the carbuncle pond story that I found out about. What is it? Oh, that ain't the exact spot. Someone is telling me that is not the exact spot. It's more on Route 12 somewhere. So they made up this spot just so it wouldn't be on the main drag. So I need to find that exact spot and go back out to that place due to the fact that Oxford, Mass. And I have another place, apartment complex, that people claim that they see dark shadows, but Oxford, Mass, I tell you, has a huge history of Native American dwellings. It's about to wonder why that place is so definitely haunted. They're protecting the sacred stone at the Carbuncle Pond. That's what they're doing. Ha ha. But anyways, this college student, which they're saying this story, I mean, it ain't nothing compared to the Bennington Triangle, where that Jean woman went missing walking on the long trail, which I have that. I still have to get out to, the long trail. A lot of stuff that leads in these stories to places that I already have covered. And it's about to wonder why it popped up by instinct to tell me to get on these. Because they're all in specific places. Especially one at the end of this one. Still got another one that comes up after this one at the bottom here. That I gotta go through. And that is Look, even Maura Murray's coming up. But the disappearance of Alice Corbett. Ha. That one is got to do with Native American land. But I will be back. Hopefully I don't have to do this over, but I have to pause. Now, get back to this. Now, speaking of Oxford, Mass, and how there was a site out there that was changed. Kind of forgot where I was on this. But I did show the other name that I'm going to be doing sometime after this too, but I was talking about the woman here, Alice Corbett, which, mind you, has a connection with Mount Toby. In Mount Toby, I did a video not too far back about some of them went missing up there, I believe. And also, that was a big area at the time of the King Philip War. Another area I call Native American dwellings. And there was a huge battle not too far from Mount Toby, the Bloody Massacre. I have that video up too. I went to the actual site. But then again, you can't really think that all the sites you see are the actual sites. And as for this, supposedly this Henry Sowin, they were both dating before they went into college, as high school seniors dating. And supposedly this girl got pregnant. Told this man Henry it was his kid. And dating at the time they graduated from Oxford High School in 1932. Said that Swan moved to Maine. Now, as we all know, long-distance relationships either bring out the worst in people or they bring out the tragedy of someone, meaning suicide. If anybody that knows anything, and yeah, I did read that in this article, but for anybody that has ever been or even seen a long-distance relationships, no, they do not work. If you can make it work, then you're a very strong person, strong-willed person. But, here goes my phone. Now, I was doing videos just before this, outside the house. Now I'm back inside the house. My friggin' phone's cracking up a storm here. See what I mean? Could it be? Could it be the friggin' goddamn friggin' phone in this house being taunted? Tap, tap, there it went. Oh, I know what to do. Go down here. There it goes. But anyways, well, I'm gonna talk while I'm have this problem. Fucking bastard. Goddamn fucking phone. I lost my thing. Anyway, so we have this Etta Riel, who his boyfriend left her, went to college in Maine. So while in Maine, this one has a baby. Retta has the baby. So wait a minute, 1932. Now that's something I would like to know. In 1932, he left for college, but then all of a sudden, in September. Now let me see. Alright, if they graduated from high school. This is what you gotta think of now. You gotta put two and two together, which does not say nothing in this article of when they graduated from high school. Now, usually when seniors graduate, they graduate in May. So, that being said, dating at the time they graduated from Oxford High School in 1932. Now, what else don't say that's in here is how long they were dating. In early 1934, she was living with her family in Oxford. Graduated in 1932. So, somewhere in between 1933, no, wait a minute. And attending nearby Worcester Teachers College. 1992. That don't make no goddamn sense. They graduated in high school in 1932. And she waited an extra year to go to college. Dating, this is the thing. Now, see, this is where you need to put them pieces of the puzzle together. So, it takes 9 months to conceive a baby. She was in college. I moved to Maine. Now, this is the thing. If he moved to Maine right after high school in 1932, and she gave birth, oh wait a minute, parents, in May, so attending Worcester State College in May. That's, you know, if you think about it, you gotta think about when the baby was conceived, when the baby was born, which supposedly it sounds like, you fucking bastard. So I mean, if they graduated in 1932, 1934, she's attending college. Now she had a baby in 1932, but it says the guy moved in 1932. That's what it sounds like. This is where the time lapse you gotta figure out. So 9 months before, in 1932, that means they were screwing around in 1931. If she did get pregnant in 1932, right? Then he goes off to college. That would make more sense. She's living with her family in Oxford, and then is attending college in 1934. Then tries to send this guy, how the story goes, parental. Tries to bring the guy to court, saying it's his kid. But all in all, the daughter grew up, and she was still trying to get this guy in 1991 or something to prove that he was the daughter's father. So the daughter was taken after the mother, trying to get this guy to sue him, I guess, or get him to be the father, the legal guardian. And the judge threw it out for some reason. Only to think about of, goddamn bastard. I mean, this story is already confusing in the beginning. Because, of course, it starts off, disappeared November 22nd, 1934, living with her family in early 1934. May, she had filed a paternity suit against a local man, which is Henry Sewin, who she named as the father of her unborn baby. She and Sewin were dating in high school, dating at the time they graduated from high school in 1932. He moved to Maine to attend college, Bates, but he and Riel remained in contact. In September, Riel gave birth to the baby girl. May, June, July, August, September, 5 months. Um, Swain spent several hours alone together. Early in the evening, Riel's hairdresser saw her talking Sawin or whatever, Sawin. Then around midnight, an Oxford police officer observed Sawin's car parked in the front. Now this, they said they were going to go elope, go get married. I guess they left the baby with the sister. But Sawin supposedly, and after all this, and said she wanted him to drop her off at the Worcester, now this is close to home, to the Worcester train station. Swain said that Riel had admitted to falsely accusing him of parentry. She had experienced apprehension about the day's court proceeding. He said he was unaware of what she was intended to travel that night. So here's a girl that blames a guy, and whether or not she felt stupid about it or was getting, who knows, scared. Because back in them days, if you had a lot of parents back in the day, if you had kids unwedded in unwedlock, oh man, that's a bad thing to do, man. Just like the Deborah Ann Quimby story I speak of. Which I gotta look into more to her, because somebody commented me on her saying, thanking me for keeping that alive, but I think this thing goes on to say that where she was intended to travel is unknown. He said he was unaware of where she intended to travel. She may have been suicidal, and his claims seem supported by letters the girl wrote to him and to friends, I guess, in October. So whether or not, but then again, they checked all the people that worked at the railroad station that night. No one saw her. He didn't know anything about this either or something. And then this strange thing happens. Police later discovered the telegram was ordered from a pay telephone in New York City, a caller who provided a false address. The identity sender was never identified. In 1935, several witnesses claimed they had seen or spoken to Riel in the weeks and months following her disappearance, but police were unable to confirm any sightings. Early in the investigation, between 2 and 4 a.m. in the day of Riel's, the Worcester train dispatcher station master received 3 telephone calls to the station's unlisted numbers. The calls, one of whom claimed to be the Oxford switchboard operator, requested that Riel be located and prevented from boarding the train. Searches the station that night failed to locate Riel. Subsequent police investigation showed that no such calls were placed from Oxford Telephone Exchange, and the callers were never identified. While Swain remained person of interest throughout the investigation, police also questioned several other people who they believe were connected. But in the early 1935 investigation, Putnam, Connecticut, a man who had corresponded with Riel and had traveled to Florida with an unidentified companion around the time, but they later ruled out any further connection with the case. In August, police questioned a woman who claimed to have shared an apartment with Riel in Boston, but that witness later committed to a psychiatric hospital. So there's a lot of bizarre stuff going on in this case, and of course there's no picture of her. Claims also state that she was buried in an Oxford cemetery. They exhumed several graves in 1935, 1937. They carried out ground search in Riel locations of Worcester County, including numerous ponds and areas in nearby Purgatory Chasm. In 1935, an interview with a local mystic who claimed the Riel was being held captive in an area unknown. Bear with me. 3 years. Oh, you jerk. I have to pause for a moment. My phone's messing up. Oh, look, what the hell? See the phone doing some funky shit. What I tell you? Bear with me, I'll be back. All in all, what this story leads to and makes it very strange. This girl got dropped off by this guy, and if he said that, he thought there was suicide gonna be involved, why would he let that girl out of that car and go off about herself? Or he dropped her off or whatever. Goddamn phone. Let her out of the car. So, I mean, it goes on to say that did this woman meet someone there? Or did she really want to get on that train and get the hell out of Dodge and kill herself, maybe out of state? My phone ain't going to put me on there, is it? But the case of the matter is that did the guy do it and make up this story and fabricate it? Because, yeah, she could be anywhere. And this guy could have had a lot of time going to New York. As they said, the story said they were going to go to New York and elope, the girl said to her family. And if they did do that, and that's another thing, they don't say the time zone of this guy leaving or coming back. He just said he dropped her off at the train station and then left her. And, never to be seen again. Now, it don't even say if that happened that day, the day after, and so forth. So, trying to figure out a scenario for this case is just as any other disappearance, bizarre case. You would lose your mind before the case gets solved, especially in this one. Whether it be that guy took her to a random place close, Connecticut, Rhode Island, instead of going to New York, killer got back home, got into the groove of things like nothing ever happened, or he did drop her off and get killed, and she got killed by some other random murderer, psychopath. But they claim no one at the train station saw her even board no trains or wasn't even near the train. So, and that guy never was charged, I guess. If you want to check out the rest of the story, I'm trying to get this damn thing up. Oh, it's gonna work now. So aftermath, her daughter filed another thing like that, suit against Henry Sawin, reviving the police investigation to her mother's disappearance. 60 years, and they threw it out in 1993. But so all this craziness, all in all, this woman, and who knows what she had on the side, who knows if she just had a mental breakdown, and Someone said she was being held, of course, by an unknown woman. I don't understand that. A detective assigned to the case stated he believes she was still alive, but all in all, this case, here you have a woman that gets dropped off at a train station. The boyfriend don't know what the hell she was doing, acting suicidal or whatnot, talking about suicide, but yet, like I said, he lets her out of the car to go do what she's gonna go do. It's like, what other stuff that was misdiagnosed? And of course, this person saying that she lived with her went to a psychiatric hospital. I mean, if she did have psychiatrical friends that needed psychiatrical evaluations, yeah, that's some shit. Everything you hear about these cases, though, and the reason why I even, talk of this one is just friggin' bizarre. I mean, between Maura Murray, this Joan lady, and I got another one at the bottom I showed that I gotta go over, and even that one's out of its tree with just bizarreness. I mean, even if she did get on a train at the Worcester station and took a friggin' ride to, like, California or something, back in 35, yeah, that wasn't... I was thinking of the Boston Strangler, but he was out throughout the 60s, so who knows if there was even a serial killer back in them days. I'd have to look that up. But all in all, these crazy cases. I mean, the only thing I can think of, serial killer, the boyfriend did it, or someone else got her impregnated, tried to get out of letting that person know, blamed it on this, this other guy that later on got thrown out of court with the case of the daughter. But why didn't they even take a DNA test? That's all they had to do. I don't think they even did that in this case. So whatever this bizarre mystery leads to, I mean, I don't even know why they didn't take a DNA test to see if he was a real father. And if he was, hey, things are right. Fix it. But if he wasn't, that only leaves that guy didn't know, like he said, and someone randomly just picked her up and ended her life. So I wanted to get this. But like I say, all these disappearances I want to document. And for this one, and have no photo, it's like, damn. And the way of this missingness is just insane. And it just keeps getting weirder even till today. So be safe, take care, beware, and always watch your surroundings. If you feel that you're having a mental breakdown or you can't do nothing, get some help. Don't take matters into your own hands like this woman say, I'm going to leave town, see you later, or lay it on a guy that say, hey, I'm pregnant now, what are you going to do about it? And you gotta do things the right way. It's like, whoa. But another terrible situation. Take a moment of silence. Like I say, until that next video, be safe, take care, beware, and always watch your back. Out.